Greetings, welcome to the Disciples of Revan. I'm your host, Lord Guys, and my co-host, Lord Travius. Say hi, Travius.
Hello, Travius. How are you tonight?
I'm sure he's doing quite well. Maybe a little bit more sober than you are. So, Mando, episode 7, The Believer. This was a pretty good episode for me. What did you think?
I thought it was a pretty good episode. I was left at the end wanting more, so it was missing something for me. I don't know what it was, but something, maybe it's because it didn't have the child in it at all.
Yeah, well, you know, Star Wars never has boobs, so it's always missing something. So it starts off at a salvage yard.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, though. It should have been Raxus Prime, because that would have been awesome.
That would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah, but anyway, I liked all the scenery and the ships, and there was pod racer engines, there was walkers, there was just everything. I thought that was really cool.
Even the droid that's just constantly repeating his number there.
Inmate 34667. Please salute Marshal Dune.
I remand prisoner number 34667 to my custody.
He threatened him if he didn't comply, and you're being released
He's
to
gonna get
Marshal.
a stick up his ass.
Yeah, released to Marshal Dune, right?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently, I guess she can just go there and do that.
When you're a marshal, you can, I guess. I don't know.
A marshal of some backwater planet, you can come over to our main base and just do whatever you want.
It's not a main base. It was a prisoner colony.
Yeah, well. So Cara basically gets Mayfeld, and they go to Slave 1, where Fennec and Boba and Mando are there. I like this is like, oh, sorry, you reminded me of this other guy. And then Mando walks down like, oh, hey, Mando.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, what an awesome team. Like,
I think we were talking about that the other episode was it's like, oh, like, how do you add a Jedi into this already kick-ass team?
yeah, I know. I think you can't. You know what? You can't have too many great people, because look what they did with like the Avengers and Justice League. There's too many characters.
You need a few weak links in there.
Yeah, that's why Hawkeye was there. So,
yeah.
But no, I thought it was really cool when they're sitting in Slave 1 and we actually see the rotation as the wings rotate into the flying mode from landing mode. Oh, that was pretty cool, because we've never seen inside Boba's ship before like that.
Again, the people making this show are just a nerd's dream. It's just like...
Well, they're leaving no stone untouched.
Yeah,
All right, but here's the thing. I can't get those coordinates unless I have access to an internal Imperial terminal. I believe there's one on Morak.
Morak? There's nothing on Morak.
secret Imperial mining.
I like the whole tropical thing about that. It reminded me of Scarif, actually.
Yeah, well, I'd really like to actually check on to where they were filming, because that location looked really sweet.
Yeah. Looks like Vietnam.
So you called it before they even said it, Juggernaut.
Well, that's what they originally called. And even in Rogue One, they had a turbo tank, which they are turbo tanks, but they're actually called Juggernauts, and so they've named them Juggernaut 1 and 2 and everything like that. So that was cool. Even in the Rogue One book about vehicles, they call it a Juggernaut too. So at least they kept true to that one.
This episode did feel a bit Rogue One-ish.
I think so too. Yeah, breaking into a high security thing. Yeah.
Also, it felt a bit bigger budget too. I don't know. Just to me, it did.
I'm doing you guys a favor. Deal's off. I'm taking it back.
I'll go.
Hey, buddy, I might be good at fast talking, but I don't think I can explain away a guy in a Mando suit to Imperial guards.
Mando swapped into a trooper outfit because, like, everybody's like, oh, sorry, like, I'm a drop trooper. I'll be on their Imperial database.
Yeah.
Boba's like, they'll recognize my face.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
And Fennec's just like, well, I'm always wanted by everybody.
Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
you are.
Yeah, she's a nice looking girl. But then he puts in the trooper thing, and then they take over that one turbo tank, and then they do this like kind of a psychological, like Mayfeld is doing all this psychological stuff on him. Well, what's the difference between New Republic, Empire?
Mayfeld's character just doesn't shut up, and so he's just constantly pointing all that stuff out. It's like, oh, like, you know, prison. What's the difference between the Empire? What's the difference with your rules? Before, is it you can't take off your mask or you can't be seen?
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
Pirates. Keep driving. I'll take care of it.
They're attacked by these marauder pirate type things, so that was pretty cool. They had the skiffs, very similar to Jabba's palace type skiffs. What do you think their whole purpose? Do you think they were natives that didn't want Imperials to be on that planet, and they just want to blow up they're taking this what is it called again?
Rhydonium?
Yeah, that was the other thing. I thought they should have used coaxium to tie in the Solo thing.
I do not like the name coaxium.
Why?
I don't know. Rhydonium just sounds better.
Rhydonium sounds more Star Trek, that's why. Mando kept his own pretty good, throwing the gun when it ran out of a charge, and
Yeah.
then they want to blow up the Rhydonium, and then
This is harkening right back to Hercules for me. It's just like, get on top of the chariot and fight off these marauders.
yeah, that was pretty good.
And then like you could see like they purposely showed you the armor shit. It's just like breaks again. It's just like, wow, you can't see out of these things. They don't fucking do anything.
No, he's not used to that. He can take a bullet with the
Well, if you notice, like
Oscar.
every episode he's in, nobody else gets shot except him.
That's
and
very
then when
true.
he's not wearing it, suddenly he can't get shot.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, hey, it is what it is. You got
At some point, man,
you got to progress the plot.
Do you think like at some point stormtroopers have to stop just being fodder? Like they don't hit anything ever, and it's getting a little noticeable. Every episode we're seeing them, and
That's not true, because when they got to the end, when they blew, the TIE fighters came and they drove the turbo tank or the Juggernaut into the thing.
Yeah.
The stormtroopers were sitting there
They
mowing
came up,
down.
they took out those pirates for sure.
Yeah, they were kind of trying to come across the.
For us just watching that, I was like, oh, our heroes are saved. Like, it's just relief of the bad guys saving our heroes.
Yeah, that was cool, and they're all sitting there saluting, and they,
It's a hero's welcome.
Well, you know what, and it kind of, I like what they're doing, because they're showing that in the Empire, and even at least the remnants, they're showing emotion, because the Empire was so emotionless, and it was master and commander, and it still is, but at least they were showing that there's camaraderie, and there's joyful occasions, and
Well, just a hint of it in this episode. Like, you could show an episode from the Empire's point of view where you would be rooting for the Empire. Mm-hmm. They get inside, and Mayfeld doesn't want to go inside because he sees a former
commanding officer, yeah.
Valen Hess. Mando's like, I'll go, and he has to take off his helmet.
So that's very interesting. So now we know his limit, because the fact if he didn't do that,
I don't think we know his limit, because I think his limit just keeps, as Mayfeld pointed out, just keeps having to change.
Well, it's just, did the means justify the ends, and where's the line?
Doing it for the kid.
Yeah, for the kid, right? So that was cool. That what was that officer's name again?
Valen Hess.
Valen Hess. Didn't he not strike similarities between Krennic?
No,
I really got a Krennic feel from him.
Krennic was such an there was the overconfidence, I guess, but Krennic was so pompous, like, I did this is mine. Valen Hess was just like bit of a psycho, like a bit of people are gonna die, they died heroes. He's such a company man for the Imperials.
But this is the Imperial doctrine.
Yeah.
And that's why that kind of thinking never really goes out of the galaxy, because of they were mind washed. They were mind washed in this propaganda from very young to accept all this.
Well,
right?
even the people that turn from the Empire, it's because something got taken away from them, and you realize like the Empire didn't care.
Two system shutdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So Valen Hess talks to Mando, and Mayfeld comes in, saves his ass, because Mando looks confused. He's like, I don't know my TR number. I'm designation co-pilot.
Yeah. And then Mayfeld comes in and says, oh, we call him Brown Eyes.
Yeah. Brown Eyes. Oh, yeah. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you're not dismissed, which was a nice, creepy moment. But it's just like, let me get you guys a drink. You brought in the Rhydonium.
Yeah, Rhydonium. Woo, here's to the Rhydonium.
And Mayfeld starts letting it slip that he knows them, but still doesn't really connect with Valen Hess. But he mentions Operation Cinder.
Yeah.
And I love that, because that's straight from Battlefront 2, and that's like one of the Empire's things was one of his final orders of like, start burning planets, start destroying ship. Like, we lost, do this. And as I was just saying,
new lore shit.
as I was just saying, like, it's video game lore, which I think does it better than new lore. But Iden Verso, like, her father was a Grand Admiral who's part of Operation Cinder.
I do know Verso.
And just like I said, like, Imperials that lose something, they destroy her planet, and she's just like, what the... Like, we're down here trying to help these people, and you're destroying the planet, and that turned her to the rebellion.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is a really cool
way of doing I did read about her, and that was from the...
I was really hoping she was going to show up in Mando, and she still could.
Well, dude, they're pulling people from left, right, center, from old lore to new lore. Cod Vance.
She's already been on set, because that pirate episode with the Sea Village or whatever it was, she was operating one of the puppets, and she's not a puppeteer, so she just was on there as a favor, like having fun.
We don't even know how to fly X-Wings.
It should be easy for special forces. What's the alternative, Iden? So, what's it going to be?
Still in the fold.
Well, yeah, and like I said, they're bringing in people, and who knows. But
and I also find Filoni, like, he'll bring in anybody if he thinks it's gonna help. Like, he brought Ray Park back for the Clone Wars to do the whole fight scene in mocap.
Yeah.
And he knows his lore and he loves his people, and everybody was willing to work for him.
Well, the Filoniverse, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they get confronted by this guy, and he starts dropping things, and then he just can't take any more. He did the whole Han shot first thing, took him out, took all the other officers and everyone else out.
I was very impressed with Bill Burr in this, because I was just like, wow, like, he looks like he's gonna be sick listening to this Imperial propaganda, and his whole thing the whole time is like, whatever, like, as long as I can sleep at night. And so, like, it went too far over his conscience, and he fucking shot him.
And he shot him, yeah.
And then, like, the trooper with the tray just stops and looks at him and shoots him too, and starts shooting everybody. Like, can you sleep at night? You just killed a bunch of Imperials.
Yeah, you can. Well, and then when they were escaping, I really liked that part. So the troopers that were following them didn't have a chance. They were being sniped out from the cliffs up there from the girls, the ladies. And they were up there sniping them out. That's like my spot in Battlefront. Just send in my boys or in you, and I just...
Yeah.
That's the best part.
I don't know. When I play with you and your kids, I'm never sure if I'm going to get sniped.
It's true, if you piss me off.
But yeah, no, that was awesome. Just like they're trying to get out, and even Mayfeld hands him his trooper helmet and be like, I didn't see your face.
Yeah, and that was pretty respectful of him, because he knows that what Mando's creed is and everything like that. But I mean, I also kind of feel that Mayfeld's character has really developed since that last episode in last season.
Yeah.
We were just kind of a snide, cocky ass.
I was not looking forward to him. Basically, when they showed his picture in the last episode, I was like, oh, like that guy? Like, that's not going to be anything. And then, like, 180, like, they did a great job with his character.
With his character, and I think they really developed him. And you see his conscious level. Like, he's a criminal, yeah, but he has a conscience.
Yeah.
Shot.
I feel that they'll be bringing him back at some point too, now that he's out there. So
yeah, if you can ever find a way off the planet.
Yeah, true. They kind of ditched him there after that. But anyways, so they escape. They get aboard Slave One, and they get followed by TIEs. And this is a part that both you and I just absolutely loved.
I was thinking this the other day. I was just like, oh man, are they gonna find a way to use the seismic charge? And
they did, and that was so good. And the fact that, I loved them in episode 2. I love them now, and the way they sound, the void of sound, and all of a sudden, it's so good. And I think they really are doing justice to Boba Fett's character, his equipment, and Slave One.
I'm just gonna I'm being chased by 2 TIEs. I'm just gonna lean back, drop one of my bombs, done.
I really am enjoying Boba Fett being there now, and not that I didn't before, but yeah, it's super awesome.
The more we get of him, and I guess we're only getting one more.
This season
is definitely telling me that we need a Boba Fett miniseries, which was rumored but wasn't mentioned in that Disney call.
It's too bad Mayfeld didn't make it out alive back there.
Yeah, too bad.
Looked to me like prisoner number 34667 died.
Apparently he died at that base. It's okay.
Yeah.
Why was he at the base in the first place?
Legally took him to the base, and
Why
that's where he died. Yeah. And he keeps showing up on these holofeeds.
That's weird. Yeah.
So speaking of holofeeds, Mando makes a phone call.
He does, and he repeats the same thing that Gideon said to him at the end of the second to last episode of last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was just like it was such a perfect callback
It's symmetry, yeah, very symmetry. And this was the only episode that we didn't see the child, but I think it didn't really warrant that we needed to. We know that he's still in the custody of Gideon, and so we look forward to next week.
They don't want to show it to you because he died.
Oh, yeah. So what do you think is going to happen next week then? It's going to be an operation. They know, I guess, by hacking into the Imperial database, they found out where his ship is. So does Gideon associate with these guys, I guess, too? The different Imperial remnants?
Gideon, well, I mean, he does seem to get backup whenever he needs to, and he seems to have all the troop support. So I would assume he's part of it.
You have something I want. You may think you have some idea what you are in possession of, but you do not.
Tell me your overall thoughts or final thoughts on this episode, and we'll talk about this Disney information.
My final thoughts on this episode, a little bit expecting a little bit more, but kind of a good lead-in into the finale next week. Was I expecting to have a little bit more of a cliffhanger? Yeah, maybe, but I think they did what they needed to do. The action was good, the acting was good, the storyline was good, the location was great.
Enjoyed the episode. I thought it had a great feel to it. Just picturing this whole season as a whole is just a pretty exciting ride.
Season as a whole is actually, like, for me, it's stunning. I mean, this is the best Star Wars we've had.
Disney basically said that we're exploiting the Mandalorian, and we're gonna get a ton of series. We're getting a standalone Ahsoka series.
They started filming on Kenobi.
Yeah, they're filming on Kenobi. They're filming on Cassian Andor series.
Yeah.
Which should just be called Andor. The several animated ones. One's an actual anime, Star Wars Visions. There's Star Wars Droid Story. We're getting the Bad Batch animated series, which is going to be very Clone Wars animation.
See what the Bad Batch did during the Clone Wars, maybe?
There was going to be a live-action Lando miniseries. I would say your best bet is to have Billy D narrate it and Donald Glover act it.
They weren't kidding. This hotel does have a gorgeous view. I love alien girls because it's always a surprise when the clothes come off.
They didn't mention anything about the Boba one, but I imagine that's on the case. They also don't have anything written about the Taika Waititi one, but they did talk about it, that he has a movie coming. But the next big movie, 2023, Rogue Squadron.
So that's what they're doing, eh?
It's going to be directed by Patty Jenkins, who did Wonder Woman 1 and 2.
It's funny how they're going to do a Rogue Squadron one when they have a Rogue One. People are going to start getting confused.
Yeah, well, I mean, you start jumping timelines too. I mean, it's going to confuse people. They're like, oh, this is here and this is here. I don't think that helps.
Well, people like us won't get confused, but the general movie-going public. But I mean, that's the thing. Who knows?
I just hate having to explain it to my dad. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, no, Dad, this one takes place here.
Well, the thing is, so if you're going to do a Rogue Squadron movie, you got to do it right. You got to base it kind of on the books. You got to have Wedge Antilles because he was
the X-Wing series.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be nice to have another movie to go to theaters to see
if we can ever go back to theaters.
Yeah. And then one other live-action series, The Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh yeah, Rangers of the New Republic. Yeah.
I think maybe we're following Cara Dune there. Maybe we're getting something completely new. Rangers to me sound like kind of a ragtag crew of people trying to bring order to the Lost Galaxy.
Well,
all set in the Mandalorian universe too.
The Mandoverse?
Yeah.
That would be good, and you know that they have so much untapped potential and timeline to fill between episode 6 and episode 7, so they could do a lot. And you know, the New Republic was supposed to be this big, huge military force, which they didn't show anything like that in the 7, 8, 9. Maybe this will kind of tie in some of that, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I hope you like Star Wars because you're getting a lot of it.
Well, and it just seems that they were, like last year, the Mandalorian was very successful. I think they wanted to see if it have 2 successful seasons, and they have. And I think now people are a little bit over their Star Wars hangover.
Come on, let's move.
The hell you think I'm doing?
Or Solo got screwed over because of all that.
Oh, I think I forgot to mention the Acolyte too. There's another series or movie Yeah.
But yeah, so they're doing this now because they're seeing that live action, like not syndicate, but like miniseries and series are actually successful. So now Star Wars is going down the Star Trek path, where maybe they'll be more successful on the TV screen than the big screen.
Well, I think they also noticed the increase in numbers when Mando's on, when it's not on, because subscribers drop off when Star Wars is done. Now, I think they're hoping that subscribers are going to stay on when Marvel stuff shows up too, because we got WandaVision showing up on January. So basically, hey, don't cancel it on December after Mando, like, because Wanda's coming right back up.
So what's a single gal like you doing rattling around this big house?
Well, I assure you, I'm married to a man, a human one.
Wanda.
If they've got a Star Wars thing, granted some of them are going to be animated, but they got a Star Wars show going all year round, you're probably not going to cancel your subscription if that's what you're into.
Well, do you think they're going to do what they've done before and just release it 1 week at a time instead of putting
100%.
Okay.
They're not going to. I think a lot of shows need to actually learn from that, because. Yeah, your show's really cool. People talk about it for 2 weeks, but then nobody talks about it for another year and a half.
Well, look at Stranger Things, right?
Stranger Things, even Witcher. Witcher got a lot of buzz, but then like nobody was talking about it after a while.
Yeah, because the people binge watch it and they're done. Yeah, right. You might as well watch a movie. So
The Boys on Amazon was doing like 2 episodes, 3 episodes at a time. I still think one a week. It's traditional. Gives us time to talk about it for a week and be like anticipate
and do this.
Yeah, and get together and. Like have to hang out every Friday night and try to sneak in the episode before he sees it, so I can be like, wait till you see this.
Such an asshole.
Yeah, well, you did that to me too. Well, as always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next week for the season finale.
Double gun.
That might be your best outro.